Truth about you and Carl and the money, huh? Is that a new engagement present, Dad? I guess it beats a new set of grapefruit spoons.
I should have told you long ago, Ryan. And you're not going to cut me off with sarcasm.
No, wouldn't dream of it. It's just that I don't think you'd know truth if you tripped over it.
The truth is, I didn't take the money from Carl Hutchins. Your brother did.
Steph, I want you to call Vicki Hudson at home. If Ryan answers, don't let on it's for me. Just make sure you get her to the office as soon as you can, all right?
Should I tell her anything specific? I mean, if she asks.
Just tell her I need her.
Well, you seem to be dropping in the polls. First Paulina drops you, and now you can't even hook your brother's intended.
McCain and I don't really need this right now.
What's that they say? Lucky in politics, unlucky in love?
All right.
Paulina, you're not due back till tomorrow.
Surprise.
Sorry. The way you were banging on the door, I thought you were police business or something.
I can leave. I didn't think...
What did you think?
Well, for all I know, you could have a woman stashed in your shower.
Oh, my shower's bare.
So are you.
Come on in. So, did you get a good bite of the Big Apple?
Actually, that's why I came by. I brought you a present. You were right. Of course, I love New York. For you. Best wishes from Roberto.
You took my advice.
Oh, Kevin, it was a fabulous restaurant. And since you raved about it so much, I thought, why shouldn't you enjoy it too? I hope you haven't eaten.
No. But you have to join me.
I can't. I just brought that by for
No,
you.
no way. Well, I'm not going to enjoy it unless you enjoy it with me. Come on.
Okay, sure.
Great.
Actually, I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, so how was the trip business-wise?
We'll see, I guess. The people at Ace Records are pretty weird.
Think you got through to them?
Who knows? I tried to get them to play down Jenna's X-rated video and play up Dean's music, but whether they bought it or not remains to be seen.
I'm sure you were very persuasive. Bay City missed you.
I bet.
Okay. I missed you. Hey, I don't have that many friends in this burg.
I missed you too.
I don't have any clothes on. Why don't I go get dressed and then we'll have an orgy? Food orgy.
Great. Kevin, one thing first. Could you tell me what happened with Jake's charges?
Guess it was wishful thinking to hope we could get through an evening without bringing up my brother, huh?
You know, Jake, I'd love to give you what you want right here and now. But I can't afford that kind of press at this time.
No, you'd rather stick to name-calling and empty threats. But either way, you won't get Paulina back.
Well, come to think of it, I don't see her on your arm right now either. As a matter of fact, last time I saw your ex, she was having a cozy little dinner with Kevin Anderson. Oh, by the way, is it true what they say? Is he a distant relative of yours?
There's no answer at Vicky's house or at Ryan's office, and I tried her mother, but no one's there either.
Damn, are you sure you have the right number?
I think I do.
Check it again, all right?
I will. I also picked up the messages from your service, and I'm afraid we have a problem.
Which is?
You had calls from all the wire services, the major dailies, and the network news shows regarding your father.
The press is nothing but a pack of howling wolves looking for blood from that grand jury decision.
Yeah, Hannah, this is Jake. I'm looking for Paulina. Oh, you know where she is? Where is she?
Hello, Iris.
Hello, Gran.
It's Dennis.
Well, he's progressing, but I think the painkillers have affected his mind, he's not himself. Do you know where Spencer is?
I have no idea. Maybe he's out tying one on, waiting for the grand jury to come back and ruin his life.
So, Grant's the one who took the money from Carl Hutchins now. Isn't it a little too late to backpedal, Dad? I mean, that's what I was telling you all along.
I lied to you, Ryan. On election night, and ever since, and to the grand jury. Grant took the money I covered for him.
No way. That's just not possible.
Ryan, look, put yourself in my position. That night, everything that I worked for, that I dreamed of, Grant's crowning triumph was about to happen, and it was a narrow, hard-won victory, but he got the Senate seat. I'd lived for that moment.
Oh, I'm well aware of that, Dad.
But Ryan, can you understand? I'd educated your brother, groomed him, spent my dreams and my money on him. I used everything I had to get him to that place that night, and even the prospects beyond it for him.
Well, your son, the president.
Yes, it was a distinct possibility. It still may be, in fact. But before he even got through his victory speech, you arrived with the information that Grant had taken illegal funds from Carl.
Dad, I was doing what I had to do.
Well, that's exactly what I did. There was no time to think or to measure the possible fallout in terms of myself or of you.
Oh, no, of course not.
But can't you get it through your head, Ryan, that I wasn't protecting Grant personally? I was protecting where he'd gotten and what he could do with it.
Right, the greater glory.
It was just a matter of practical politics, keeping him in a position to do the most people, the most good, don't you see?
So you martyred yourself.
I didn't look at it that way. It just seemed the obvious, immediate solution to a threat. Ryan, I lied. I covered. And I took the rap. But I felt I had no choice.
No, Dad, you did have another choice. Maybe not that night, but later. Before the charges were brought. Before I was forced to testify against you in public. You could have loved me enough to trust me with the truth.
Where have you been all evening?
Getting my head together. I was trying to get ready to tell you this.
Tell me what?
Fanny, first of all, that stuff, all that stuff about gambling in the back room at Tuxedo Club and...
You're not in trouble, are you?
No, that, I did that for another reason. And that's why I was so distant from you. It really had to do with Jenna's father.
So, did you find him?
No, I thought I had, but no, I hadn't.
So, what is it you're trying to say to me, like what?
Listen, my searching through Gloria's history led me to Cass as Jenna's father.
Cass? Oh, you're crazy.
I know. I thought, believe me, I thought so too. But all the clues pointed to Cass. He was at Brava during that period. He'd just come back from Europe or something, and he was connected to Gloria in certain people's minds, okay? It just kept hitting me in the face that he had had an affair with her, and he was Jenna's father.
How long ago did you put all that together?
Month.
A month. You knew all of that for a month, and you didn't say a word to me about it.
Fanny, I know that made it worse, but there were just so many threads, and we didn't know where this was going to lead.
Who's we?
I hired Ryan Harrison to help me.
You trusted Ryan Harrison more than you trusted me?
Come on, Fanny, this is not a matter of trust. It's a matter of protecting you and Jenna.
What, from Cass?
No, from... Listen, Doug Lamont had been killed, okay? We went after his ex-wife. She was terrified. And she's the one who pointed out Cass.
What are you saying to me? That Cass has some underworld connection?
I don't know. Maybe inadvertently. He knew something he didn't know, that he didn't think he knew. It was all very muddled. We didn't know it was happening.
You didn't trust me, Luke. You thought you knew something about my best friend? Something that could change our lives forever?
Fanny, when I thought that it might be Cass, it was like my worst nightmare come true.
Cass would be worse than some gangster?
What if Frankie came back to town and turned Cass down, okay? And then you find out that he's Jenna's father. I mean, you were already so close.
This not only doesn't have to do with trust. It doesn't have to do with love either. I don't know how you can keep that from somebody. Somebody that you're supposed to love and care about.
Hey. Why were you flying off when I had just gotten back?
I thought you wanted me to. I thought you wanted John, and I promised that I'd let you go.
Did it ever occur to you to ask me?
I couldn't take having you reject me, Frankie. I saw the two of you together at the farmhouse. You were holding each other, and I thought your choice was clear.
Oh, it would only be clear to someone as thick and naive as you, babe.
Hey, I'm being nobler than I've ever been in my entire life, giving you up because of my profound love for you, and I'm thick and naive. How do you like that?
I was telling John that I couldn't be with him. That I had chosen to be with you for the rest of my life.
Well, that's all right, then. It's incredible.
What?
If it hadn't been for that little boy, I'd be in the air right now, headed for Los Angeles and a lifetime of pro bono work for bankrupt yuppies and unemployed studio executives.
What little boy?
There was this little kid who was in my seat in first class when I got on the plane. They apparently had overbooked. He said he was on his way out to see his parents.
And what did he look like?
Well, what do kids look like? He was 8 or 9 years old. He had long, dark hair, big brown eyes, a very mischievous face and smile. Come to think of it, he reminded me of me when I was that age. What?
Sounds like the little boy I met, you know.
And you think this time he sent me back?
Yeah, I think so. There's something else.
What?
Yeah, tonight, out on the porch, I was standing out there, and it was totally still and silent, not even a flicker of a breeze. And all of a sudden, the wind chimes rang. And I looked, and there they were. And I knew you had been there.
I brought them for you. So what do you think all of this means?
I think somebody wants us to be together.
You do? Yeah, somebody real smart. Let's go home.
Yes, Ryan, I could have told you the truth. And now I know I should have told you what really happened.
Which was?
Simply, that back when Grant first got into politics, one of his campaign aides made a mistake and accepted a contribution without really checking
Right, so Grant was just blameless in this whole matter.
No. At best, he was careless. At worst, irresponsible.
Oh, yeah.
He let an error made by someone else compound into something quite threatening. And that led to the whole Signet scandal. And he paid for it by getting himself shot and
Yeah,
damn
that's
near
right,
died.
Dad. I was there, remember? And I've been eaten up by guilt for months ever since because I think that I caused it. I've looked in the damn mirror every single morning and seen a disloyal, miserable son who wasn't deserving of his father's love, so small wonder that I didn't get it.
That's not so!
Oh, it has to be! Or else you would have come clean with me months ago. Come on, Dad, what were all those ledgers and all those records? What, were they all phony? You gave me false evidence to verify in court?
I hated all of it! But once I started, I had to follow through.
And you let
Don't
me believe that
understand?
you're a criminal! The man that I had been brought up to believe in, the man that... You allowed me to lose faith in the man that had brought me up with all of his rigid moral standards. You let me let go of a job that meant everything to me. All just to shield Grant.
Ryan, someday, God willing, you'll have children of your own. And if they ever get in trouble, you'll understand what it is to want to do just about anything to shield them.
Them? One. At the other's expense. And always to make sure that the other one was expendable.
That was never my
I came to
intention.
you, what, 2 weeks ago? Said that I had my doubts about your guilt, and I begged you to let me help you clear your name.
Oh, Ryan, I only wish you could understand what that meant to me.
Oh, what it meant to you. What it meant to you? It meant nothing. And all you did was just keep on protecting Grant's political behind. Do you have any idea how that makes me feel right now? Was it always Grant instead of me, Dad? Was it Mom?
You're so much like her, Ryan.
And Grant so much like you, is that it? Still blame me for the fact that she died? You don't have to deny it anymore. I never really stopped blaming me. There I was, staring at you across the breakfast table with her eyes, her hair, her jawline. Pretty poor excuse for what you'd lost.
That's not it, Ryan. I swear to you.
What is it? What else would make a man treat his son like that?
I was wrong. But I swear to you, Ryan, that you and Grant will be treated equally. That I won't favor him with secrets or promote his career over yours. That I'll be honest and straightforward with you.
Why now?
That's a good question.
I mean, you've been lying to me for months. Why'd you decide to come clean with me now?
I couldn't go before the grand jury tomorrow and listen to their decision without leveling with you first. Ryan, it was tearing me apart.
Well, that's swell, Dad. It's really swell, because now you're giving me another mess to clean up. You shafted both me and my brother. Nice going.
There's nothing like a little foie gras to go, is there?
Mm-hmm. Well, the last time I had foie gras...
Guess it has something to do with Jake?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry that I overreacted earlier.
No, I don't blame you, really.
No, since you brought it up, though. Jake is only going to have to face a few hours community service for assaulting the officer. Okay?
Thank you. I'm sure you had a lot to do with it. Kevin, it really was a bum rap. Jamie came in there off the wall, and when I saw the camera, I freaked too.
Well, Jamie's pretty mad at me for helping Jake get off so lightly.
You know, I just don't get that. Jamie has never forgiven me for lying about Jake's shooting, yet he rushes in to save me. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Family bonding, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you'd know about that.
Plus, you seem to be the kind of woman men leap to protect.
I look helpless.
Hardly. You've got spirit. Spunk. Well, that night after I found you in the alley, after that fight with Jake, you're pretty spunky.
Darn it, I was just starting to relax.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd ignore it with the grand jury tomorrow. Kevin Anderson. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll be right there. I have to go see the judge. It's not going to be too long. Would you like to wait?
Sure. I'd rather talk to you than four walls all night.
Oh, thanks. I think.
Steph, you better make some coffee. Something tells me it's going to be a long evening.
Coming up.
Thank you. Damn it. Thought there'd at least be a message here from Vicky.
Do you feel that?
Must be Frederick and Juliet welcoming us home.
Yeah. And I'm glad we didn't disappoint them. Or the house.
A place that's seen a 60-year marriage is, well, it really knows when two people are meant to be together.
Yeah. They probably knew before we did.
You know, the former residents aren't the only ones that are going to be happy. Dean is going to be ecstatic. And he could use an object lesson in love conquers all at the moment.
I put so many people I love through so much pain over this.
You did what you had to do. Everybody understands
Yeah,
that.
everyone but me. The thing I don't understand is how I could have taken such a wrong turn spiritually.
What do you mean?
I really thought I had a clear reading on what my fate was, that I was meant to be a mother to Gregory and take Charlene's place. See, I've always prided myself on being in touch with the universal vibrations.
You had the right ticket, you just got off at the wrong station.
Pride. That's it, pride.
That's what?
Mama used to quote scripture that pride goeth before a fall. See, the more in touch I thought I was, the further away I got from the truth. I had to practically fall off that mountaintop before I could, accept that my fate wasn't what I thought it was.
I guess there's no figuring fate.
Exactly. And that came to me when I let go of all of the ought-tos and just let what is be there.
So what have you learned?
That you are the center of my life. All of my lives.
Sorry, I really am, but I packed you from the airport back
Felicia,
to here. I
no?
have to know. Could you actually be Jenna's father? Hello, Frankie.
Who is it?
Paulina, it's me.
If you think I'm opening the door to you, Jake, you're crazy.
And if you don't think that I will make a big scene and embarrass Kevin, so are you.
Bye. Thanks. I can't believe you had the nerve to come over here.
So what are you gonna do? Call Kevin and have him kick me out?
Maybe.
No, you're not, because I just saw him. He left already.
Oh, don't tell me you set up that call.
Me? What call? What are you talking about?
Don't play innocent with me, Jake McKinnon. You figured out I was here and you had Kevin disappear.
Oh, just like I planted that video camera in the loft, huh?
No, like you pretended to play the limo driver when I was headed to New York just so you could talk to me.
Paulina, if I hadn't done that, you would have never believed me about the camera stunt. Listen, I know you have every right to suspect me, but if Kevin got called out of here, it's just dumb luck on my part. I'd have showed up whether he was here or not.
Okay, fine, you're here. What do you want?
You never did apologize for thinking the worst of me the other night.
Well, I may have been wrong that night, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong in general. Jake, I've asked you to back off, and you keep turning up everywhere I go.
Just following my heart. I know I may sound like a broken record, but I care about you, and that means knowing where you are and who you're with.
Especially when I'm with your brother, right? That's the real challenge, huh?
My half-brother. And just lately.
See?
No, I don't. Other than the fact that you're here right now, this has nothing to do with Kevin. This is just between us.
No. There is nothing between us. Nothing.
Was that nothing when Jamie burst in the other night with the cavalry?
All right. Nothing I want to encourage.
Oh, come on, Paulina. Why don't you give us a break? Let's go dancing.
Ryan, I hope you don't misunderstand what you heard out there.
I have a knack for that, from what I hear.
I only want to borrow Vicky. If anybody can put the right spin on this grand jury business, she can.
From what I hear, Dad has already put the right spin on this whole deal. Well, at least as far as you're concerned.
I don't follow.
He told me, Grant.
Told you?
Well, you're going to play this thing right down to the wire, aren't you? Well, you can save your performance for the public. Dad told me that you're the one who took the money from Carl Hutchins, not him.
I can't believe he did this.
Well, it's got to be quite a shock for you, especially since he's been covering for you for so long.
Yeah, it's a shock. It's also a relief.
Oh, come on, Grant, don't hand me that garbage. You've had your chances to come clean with me all down the line.
If I had, you would have buried me.
So instead, you just shoveled the guilt on top of me until I couldn't breathe. You let me think that I was responsible for you getting shot. All along, you were the one who put yourself in that position. You let me turn our father in.
That was your choice, Ryan.
Because you were lying right through your teeth.
I hated every minute of it. It wasn't my idea.
What, he just twisted your arm?
No, I can't say that. I did what I thought was expedient at the time.
Well, that's interesting. You know, Dad said something similar. He said he didn't have a choice.
Ryan, we both felt the same way.
No, there's a big difference. What he did took guts. What you did was the act of a miserable coward.
So that's sort of how Luke figured everything out. And you have to admit there is a certain resemblance.
Honey, I'll tell you exactly what I told Lucas. Gloria and I were never lovers.
Well, I knew that you weren't her type.
No, I was more her secretary's type.
Cass.
Listen, if Gloria and I had had an affair, which I repeat, we did not, and the right number of years later, a wonderful child like Jenna appeared, don't you think I'd claim her on the spot?
It just hurts so much, you know. Luke has been shutting me out for weeks, and, you know, every time he sees us together, he either goes and sulks somewhere or he has a fit.
I know how awful it must feel, Felicia, but in a way I could see his wanting to protect you. I mean, I was at the hospital when he and Ryan brought in Doug Lamont, and they were scared. They weren't talking.
Well, I think it's very sweet you're defending him. But I sort of see this as a test that, well, we both flunked as a couple. I mean, if you can't trust somebody when it's tough...
Sometimes you get lucky, and you make it anyway.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be here at this time.
It's consistent with your honeymoon afternoon with Lucas when half the town showed up for counsel and guidance.
Yeah, here too, huh? Yeah. Those were good times, weren't they? I guess you both know I'm so happy for you. I really am. I mean, I love John. But I guess there was no question who I was rooting for.
John will find his way. Probably when he stops looking.
Boy, I can tell you're back. And you know what? I'm here to tell you that this guy was totally faithful. He never even looked at another woman. I love you both. Thank you.
Love you too.
Love you
Take
too.
care.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I looked, but I was not seriously tempted.
Yeah, except for maybe that red-headed lawyer.
How did you...
You're unbelievable.
Not by myself, but together we're pretty incredible. Now you think about it. We managed to make a marriage work when we hated each other. Think how good it's going to be now that we care.
I didn't say I care.
No, you didn't have to, but you were going to prove it the other night before Jamie interrupted.
I had a weak moment.
You can call it what you want. You can cry on Kevin's shoulder. You can pin a big old brownie button on your bro's chest. But you know and I know that something real was happening the other night.
I didn't say it wasn't real. You and I disagree on whether it was good or bad.
No, we don't. Not really. But you know something? I'm not gonna grovel. And I'm not going to try to force you to take your blinders off. Sooner or later, you're gonna come back to me.
Your ego is so huge, you could just...
Video blocking at the barn. 12 o'clock. Sleep tight.
See, I was meditating so much that I was in tune with you on this really universal spirit level.
I felt that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, of course, you would.
Yeah, right. So, I knew when your spirit was troubled, and then one night I had this dream about you and a red-headed lawyer.
Come on, Dean told you. He met her, you know.
Well, I haven't seen Dean.
Wow. I mean, wow. Oh, Frankie, I can't wait for us to be married again for the first time.
Not too fast.
No. No, of course not. Not too fast. But just think, we're going to get to experience our courtship all over again. Our engagement and our wedding ceremony and our honeymoon. Without the kidnapping, of course.
Oh, please, God.
No, this time we're going to do it all right. When I order a string quartet, we get a string quartet, no Elvis. And no limo breaking down. And no breakdown in communication. That's right. We'll talk. We'll talk about everything. No secrets between us. No nursing any grievances. We'll make love. And we'll make love. Mary Frances, I love you so much. All right, thank you very much, Franco. Yes.
I was worried about you. All right, don't tell me you were trying to teach me a lesson.
No, I'm just trying to process this whole thing.
Did you? Can I help?
I don't know. I just thought our lives were going in one direction. And then little by little, you backed away from me and you stopped talking.
I'm talking now, Fanny. I told you why I did what I did. And I promise I will never shut you out again. Can we just go on from there?
I think I need to sleep on it.
It's a good idea. Oh, I get it. I should sleep out on the couch as a punishment, huh?
I'm not telling you what you should do. I'm only asking you for a little time and space to get over feeling as terrible as I feel.
All I was dying, I just wanted to protect you, Fanny.
You didn't trust me or respect me, Luke. You treated me like I was some kind of helpless child.
Now who's not talking?
I can't tell you how very proud I am of you that you finally told Ryan the truth.
Iris, the price I paid to keep Grant's image clean was just too high.
I hate to say it, but I told you so.
But it's been Ryan's face, looking at me with such disgust that night, that's haunted me all these months.
It's amazing, isn't it? How the opinion of one's child can matter more than almost anybody else's.
He thinks I don't care.
Oh, darling, he'll understand. Believe me, when he gets over this pain of his and sees the whole picture, he'll know that it took a very caring father to do what you did.
I know it was right. Because for the first time since November, I feel I can hold my head up. But I have to wonder what Ryan will do next.
Well, you don't think he'll go to the press or the authorities, do you?
I don't know. But if he does, Grant could be run out of government. And our family could totally disintegrate.
Before you mount that high horse of yours, baby brother, let me tell you something. All these years you've lived on your anger that I was Spencer's favored son. You haven't a clue what that cost me.
Oh, then please tell me.
I will tell you, and you'll listen for a change. Do you have any idea what it's like to inherit somebody else's dream and then be expected to fulfill it?
It's an old story, Grant.
It's not fiction, Ryan. It is the central fact of my life. Oh, but then what am I talking about? I've never had a life. I've never been given the opportunity to have a thought of my own. I was never asked if I could enter politics. It was drummed into my life when I was 12 years old. I was born for a life of public service. Just do what you're told, Grant, and you can make it to the top.
Come on, Grant. What kind of baloney you've been feeding yourself for all these years? The only choice you made was to let Dad run your life. Now, Dad hated my career, but he couldn't keep me away from it.
Well, don't kid yourself, Ryan. He could have if he'd cared. Oh, come on. That's not news, Ryan. You've been saying that all your life. Well, I'm here to tell you that that was your good luck, and you don't even have the common sense to see it.
And you don't have the honesty to admit that you had choices all along the line. No one dragged you kicking and screaming into politics. Oh, come on, I've seen you with your campaign groupies surrounding you and the press pawing at you, and you loved every single puffed up minute of it.
Is that what you think I do, huh? Make speeches? Get pompous? Get photographed? I put in 18-hour days here, Ryan. I sleep on airplanes between here and Washington. I keep the lines of communication open between me and my constituents.
Can we just stop before you start citing your voting record? Let's get back down to basics, shall we, Senator? In order to protect this career that you resented so much, you allowed our father to take the rap for you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I did what Spencer asked to fulfill Spencer's dream. He was the one that covered for me, and he was the one that lied to you. And frankly, I am damn glad that the truth is out. Because maybe now I can stop living on somebody else's dreams and somebody else's drives and somebody else's ambition and start taking accountability for my own mistakes.
Including the one you made with Hutchins? The one that ended with me making the mistake of my life? You took a bullet. And I felt so responsible. that I had Vicky go help you. And from that moment on, my life has slid right down into the gutter.
Brian, what are you going to do tomorrow?
It's a good question. If I rat on you, you lose everything. If I keep my mouth shut, my father probably goes to prison. It's the Harrison no-win sweepstakes, thanks to you and Dad. But right now, I'm gonna go find Vicky and try and fix the rest of what you've screwed up.
Wait a minute. Where is she?
Now, if I knew that, you'd be the last person that I would tell.
Are you going to tell her about all of this when you find her? Ryan, are you going to go to the DA?
You'll just have to tune in tomorrow and find out.